Hello guys, how are you? I'm Daniel Berdejo-del-Fresno, an exercise and sports science PhD. I am working right now in Saudi Arabia with the Saudi Arabia Futsal national team. The first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for the invitation to Dr. Marcus Leipheimer to record this video for his sport care channel, the Global Sports Care YouTube channel. So thank you very much, Dr. Marcus. I'm going to record my presentation. Hopefully everything will be okay. I'm going to share my screen now and let's see if that works. Okay, so hopefully you will be now seeing my screen. Let's do this bigger. Okay, so let's crack on, doctor. As I mentioned, I am working now for the Saudi Arabia Football Federation with the national futsal team. I have been here 3 years, now coming into my fourth season. I worked previously with Dr. Marcus in the England futsal national team for so many years. I think it was 7 years more or less. And from that relationship, we became good friends. And since then, we are still in contact. So he asked me to record this video about how a futsal match warm-up should be. And I'm going to share with you my proposal so the Global Sport Care YouTube channel that he manages can publish this. In this presentation, we are going to talk about the warm-up definition, the different types of warm-ups, the benefits of a warm-up, how we structure the warm-up, other factors that maybe can influence in the warm-up, and then I will show you our real warm-up previews our match. We will finish with some conclusions, and of course, I will share with you the main reference that I've been using for this presentation. The warm-up definition, there is a lot of definition of warm-up by those many names that you can see on the screen. But basically, after all these years, I I would like to mention the definition by Bakera in 2008 that basically he defines the warm-up and the group, the sets of tasks or exercises that they are performed before any sporting performance or activity in order to adapt the body for the demands of that activity, minimizing the risk of injuries, and at the same time, for me, this is very important, to create the psychological uh, predisposition for the exercise, for the sport, for the competition, for the match. So for me, that is the definition that I would like to use with all of you. The different types of warm-up that we have. We can see here in this graph that there is passive warm-ups and active warm-ups. A passive warm-up could be the warm-up that is performed when you apply some creams, heating creams, the warm-up that your muscles receive when you receive a massage, the using of some garments, and then we have the active warm-up. The active warm-up is when you actively warm up performing some kind of activities. This is the warm-up that we are going to focus on in this talk. Inside the active warm-up, we have a general warm-up and a specific warm-up. The general warm-up is a general warm-up that could be performed for any kind of activity, and a specific warm-up is is that one related specifically to the sport that you are going to compete on. And of course, inside this active, general, and specific warm-up, we can have individual warm-ups or a collective warm-up. The benefits of the warm-up are numerous, and I would like to divide them in these 5 departments. So there are benefits within the cardiovascular system, within the respiratory system, within the neuromuscular system. Then there is some psychological factors and benefits that they have a prophylactic effect. Regarding the cardiovascular system, when you perform a warm-up, you create an increase in the heart rate, the circulatory volume, and in the blood pressure. Within the respiratory system, there is an improvement in the oxygen release. There is an increase in the respiratory rate. There is greater efficiency in gas exchange. The respiratory mismatch improves, and also there is a dissociation of the oxygen, hemoglobin, and myoglobin improvements. The dissociation of those 3 aspects improved with the warm-up. Regarding the neuromuscular system, there is all these benefits. The muscle viscosity decreases, the muscle temperature and the blood temperature increases, the muscle tone increased. There is a better sensitivity of the nerve receptors. The nerve impulse speed is quicker. There is a higher pulse rate. There is an improvement in the ability to apply force. The reaction speed improves. There is a higher reaction speed. So the manifestation of the speed also is better. And in the contraction of the agonist and antagonist muscle, there is a higher effectiveness in that muscle contraction. Regarding the psychological afters, some authors they found that athletes during the warm-up they are more mentally prepared. They release some tensions and anxieties pre the competition. There is more focus, there is more concentration, and the motivation increases. Our proper warm-up improves the attention. There is also a better visual perception. There is more precision in the actions, and as I said, there is more concentration, and because all of this, the self-confidence of the athletes improves. And then, of course, there is some injury prevention improvement related to the prophylactic benefits of the warm-up. How do we structure the warm-up? So, due to how a futsal match lasts, 40 minutes, 2 halves of 20 minutes with 10 or 15 minutes break between halves, depending if you are in a national competition or you are in an international competition. We have to do a warm-up to achieve a performance called a long duration performance, because the competition is longer than 5 minutes regarding Bishop 2003. So because of that, because we are going to do a performance that lasts more than 5 minutes, the intensity should be between the 60 to the 70% of the VO2 max, should be a duration of more than 10 minutes, and the recovery should be less than 10 minutes. So when the warm-up finishes and the competition starts, that gap, that period of time in the middle, it should be less than 10 minutes. What happens? When we are in international competitions, the warm-up must finish 15 minutes before the start of the match. What we do is a warm-up when we are back on the court. We will explain that later. And then, of course, the warm-up should be specific to the sport that you are going to practice. There are other factors that could influence the duration, the intensity of the warm-up. What are the factors to do a longer or a shorter warm-up? The age, technically, older people should do a longer warm-up than younger people. The physical condition, the better your condition is, the more you warm up to get those benefits mentioned before. The day of the moment, for example, in the morning, the warm-up could be longer than in the evening. And the external temperature. If you are performing in an environment that is very, very cold, the duration of the warm-up should be longer than if you are performing like here in Saudi Arabia, outside, where the temperature is close to 40 degrees Celsius. The warm-up should be a bit shorter. So with all that previous background and with all that information that I gave you before, I'm going to show you the warm-up that we have in the national team of Saudi Arabia. We have a first part that the players, they are jogging for around 2 minutes. As you can see, outfield players, they are jogging. So we separate the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers, they are with the goalkeeper coach, and you can see on the video on the right, and they are performing their specific warm-up. The outfield players, they are with me. I am leading the warm-up, and we have 2 minutes of jogging. Very, very simple. Before that, the players within themselves in the changing room, they have foam rollers, elastic bands that they can do their individual warm-up. Also, before this jogging activity, we come out from the changing room into the court, maybe 2-3 minutes before the warm-up starts. So in those 2-3 minutes, the players, they are free to do whatever they want. Some of them, they do some stretching, some of them, they do some mobility, some of them, they do some purging. So they have 2-3 minutes of freedom to do anything they want. The second part is dynamic stretches. So the players, they organize from the top of the D, from the top of the area. One sec. From here. That is the space that we leave for that is the space that we leave from here, sorry. That is the space that we leave for the goalkeepers. They have these 6 meters, and we perform all the dynamic stretches from the halfway line to that line that I drew on the video. The routine, the warm-up routine, is always the same. So the players, they already know what to expect. I am there in the middle leading it, but the players they already know. So as you can see, we are doing some dynamic stretching and joint mobility, starting with the arms, shoulders, to do some sideways. After the sideways, we do some karaoke's. We are going down the legs. After that, we will do like some high kicks, forward, backward. We will do some side kicks. We will do high knees, butt kicks, open the gate, closing the gate, some lunges with a trunk twist, and I think we do also some squats down. So as you can see now on the video, we have the high kicks. We will do this forward like now. Then in the way back, it will be backward, and then we will do side to side. Here you can include any kind of activity that you think is suitable for your sport. Of course, this is the general part of the warm-up. It is not specific to the sport. You can do this in futsal, you can do this in football, in basketball, in handball, in volleyball. Okay? From here, we go to the third part, which is more specific. We still don't have goalkeepers involvement. So the players, they are working in twos. Each group of two players, they have one ball, and we are start doing some very, very basic passing activity using right and left leg. So we use both feet, and slowly we are going to be increasing the space. So we start with passing into very, very close, and slowly we are increasing the space until we use the whole 20 meters of the court from one side to the other side to practice more strong passes. The range of movement with the leg is bigger and longer. So we are increasing, we are progressing the intensity of this passing activity. You can see that we are increasing slowly the distance, and at the end, it will be full court. There is some dribble now to the middle, passing. You can see now, dribble and passing, and then more dribble and passing. So we are also increasing the movement with the ball. And here, the last part is long and strong passes from side to side. After here, we are progressing the warm-up into a more specific one. So we have a possession game, which is 4 versus 4. We have a possession game, which is 4 versus 4 inside, and 2 jokers from each team. Let me show you here. So we have one player here in blue and one player here in green. Okay, those 2 players, when the ball is out, the player who passed out goes out, and the player who was out now goes in. So they switch. So everybody is rotating. We have exactly the same You see the chain now. We have exactly the same on the other side. On the other side, we have, let's check, we have one green player here and one blue player here. So as I mentioned, we have around 5 minutes of this activity where there is a 4 versus 4 with 2 touches. We play 2 touches rule and 2 jokers from each team, 1 on each side of the court. The dimension is 20 meters, 14 meters, 20 and 14, okay? Because we still have these 6 meters here completely for the goalkeepers with the goalkeeper coach. Myself and the goalkeeper coach, we are in constant communication to coordinate the warm-up, to see how long left, to see if we need to we have to shorten some part of the activity because, of course, we have the same routine all the time. We have the same protocol, but the protocol is flexible. We can modify it according our needs. So I am always in contact communication, especially here, because after this activity, after this possession, we start using the goalkeepers. So this part is already, the passing and the possession is already a specific warm-up. We finish the general warm-up with the dynamic, but still we don't have the goalkeepers involved in the warm-up. So we go to the 5th activity in the warm-up. That is as soon as the possession finishes, in constant communication with the goalkeeper coach, we start doing some passing, following you pass, and shooting from a central position. We use from both corners. So players are at the corners, pass the ball, and follow you pass to a pivot in the middle. After passing, go and shoot. You shoot and you stay in the middle. The other corner, the player from the other corner does absolutely the same. Okay? We do this for about 4 minutes because also we have 4 goalkeepers. That is what I was mentioning before. I was mentioning before that we have been flexible. Sometimes we only have 3 goalkeepers in the competition. Sometimes we have 4 goalkeepers in the competition. So in this case, we have 4 goalkeepers in this match. So all the goalkeepers, they have to pass by this activity. So today is 4 minutes. The goalkeeper coach is telling me when the goalkeepers are ready, when the goalkeepers they are switching, and when we change for the next activity. As I mentioned, now we are in the specific warm-up, but this is the first activity where the goalkeepers they are included into the group. So now we have all the group warming up together, doing some specific activities, passing, following you pass into a pivot, shooting from a central position. Important that we shoot from a central position. So the goalkeepers also, they have a progression in their specific warm-up. From here, we go to the 6th activity, which is lateral shooting and back post. So same organization, but the players, as you can see, they are closer. We have 2 players here and 2 players here. There is a pass from the corner and there is a one-touch finish with a player going into the back post. And the goalkeepers, they are moving from one post to the other post, from one post to the other post. from one post to the other post, which means that the goalkeepers, they are practicing their lateral displacement, lateral movements within the goal. We are including a back post, so the player shooting has two options. You can shoot to the first post, or you can make a pass to the back post. So the goalkeeper is practicing closing the first post first, and then if there is a pass to the back post, we are practicing that movement, very, very important in futsal, when the goalkeeper is moving from first post into the back post with a lateral displacement using a split. So there is a progression into the warm-up for the outfield players, and there is a progression also into the warm-up for the goalkeepers. As you can see now, we are changing the side, so players are shooting from both sides, right and left. So they are practicing their right shoot and their left shoot. The total duration is around 3 minutes for this activity. After that, we go to a more specific activity, which is this one, the 7th, and there is a shot. You will see now the goalkeeper, there is 3 lines in the middle. There is a shot. After the shot, you defend, and it's a 2v1. And the 2 attackers, they will defend, and it's a 3v2. So we have 3 lines, 1 line here, 1 line in the middle, 1 line here. The first ball from the goalkeeper's outside pass to the middle. The goalkeeper pass the ball to the middle player, and there is a shot. After that, the player becomes defender, and the goalkeepers, they send the ball to either left or right, and it's a 2v1. And then the 2 attackers in the 2v1, they will become defenders, and it's a 3 versus 2. Let's watch it one more time. So 3 lines in the middle of the court. There is a group of 3 groups, left, right, and middle. The players, they are switching, of course, after there is a ball from the goalkeeper into the player in the middle. That player dribble, get close, and around 9-10 meters, shot. After the shot, that player defend a 2 versus 1 situation. After the 2 versus 1 situation, the 2 attackers, they will stay like these 2 to defend a 3 versus 2 situation. Of course, the goalkeepers, they are rotating. They are rotating when the goalkeeper coach tells them to rotate. And we keep this activity for about 3-4 minutes, approximately. One more example, from the middle, shoot, and now defend. You see the player defending, 2 versus 1. The player is defending the 2 versus 1. The 2 attackers in that 2 versus 1, they are becoming now the defenders in a 3 versus 2. And after this activity, we go to the last activity, a specific, which is very quick and fast shots from a central position. And if we have 3 goalkeepers, we do 3 sets. If we have 2 goalkeepers, we do 2 sets. If we have 3 goalkeepers, 3 sets, 4 goalkeepers. So basically, we always do 1 set for each goalkeeper. We are shooting about from 9 meters, 9-10 meters, actually 10 meters, and it's quick shots from the middle. Let's go to watch another one. Quick, shoot and stay, shoot and stay. There is two players in the middle. You see two lines, everybody with a player, every player with a ball. After this activity, we go to the last one. The last activity is a general activity. So we want to activate before going to the changing room, and we do 3 jumps, forward and backward, sprint, back pedal to the line with a quick change of direction, and sprint full core. We do repeat one more time, you see, and we increase in the distance, and we continue, and we repeat it one more, this time a bit longer. And we do this 3 times. General warm-up before going into the changing room. The goalkeepers, they stay out with the goalkeeper coach. Sometimes they do some specific activities for them, like long deliveries. Sometimes they don't do anything, depending on the day. But we finish the warm-up with a general activity that it lasts less than 2 minutes. From here, we can go into the changing room. So here you can see the whole protocol that we have. We have 9 activities. We have the general activities at the beginning with 2 minutes jogging and 3 minutes dynamic stretching. And in that moment, we have 5 minutes, and another general activity at the end, just 2 minutes jumps and sprints. Here we have all specific to the sport that we are practicing, in this case to futsal. But still, as you can see, we don't introduce the goalkeepers until here, so until the minute 14, 15, which means the first 15 minutes of the warm-up, the goalkeepers, they are on their own. And the outfield players, they are, in this case, with me. So the first 2 activities specific for us, for the outfield players, they are the passing with 5 minutes and the possession 4 versus 4 mark 2 jokers, which is 5 minutes. And then is when we introduce the goalkeepers. So after the minute 15, we have a specific warm-up and we have goalkeepers. We have goalkeepers for the passing and central shooting, for the lateral shooting and the back post, for the shot 2v1 and 3 versus 2, and for the last activity that we have the very quick shot from the middle. After that, again, we separate goalkeepers to do something specific about usually throws and long delivery with hands and feet. And for me, for the outfield players, we do the jumps and sprints. Directly, when we finish, we go to the changing room for the players to get ready, and the warm-up is finished. As you can see here, our total duration for the warm-up is 30 minutes. Inside the changing room, the players, they will change their t-shirts, they will relax, they will get rehydrated. Maybe they will have the last treatments from physios and doctors, and the last words of the last talk from the coach. Then the players, they will have to line up and go out. In international games, as I mentioned before, since the moment we finish the warm-up until the match starts, there are 15 minutes in the middle. So when we are out after the national anthem and we are out on the court, we have 1 minute, 1 minute and a half that the players that they are going to start the game, they do a quick re-warm up, change of direction, some passing, some jumps, and the players that they will start the match on the bench, behind the bench, they also keep moving and they keep re-warming up so they are ready when the coach asks them to go into the court. Now we have some conclusions. So for me, the first one is the main objective for the warm-up is get the players physically, technically, tactically, mentally, and socially ready for the match in all these 5 aspects. So we have to try to include these kind of things in the warm-up. Then the warm-up must be specific to the sport. And very important, also specific to the positions if needed. For example, our goalkeepers, they do specific warm-up. If we are talking about basketball, maybe some players, they need to do a specific warm-up. Even in futsal, we can say that if, for example, pivots, they can do a specific warm-up for pivots. In our team, we don't have pivots, so we don't include this part. But if we have pivots in the team, I think it's a good idea if you can consider having a specific exercise or a specific quick 3, 4, 5 minutes activity for pivots. Usually, we have the same protocol to create routines. The players, they know the warm-up. The players, they know what is after each activity. So that gives the players the mental state that they know what to expect. They know what is coming after activity 2, activity 3. They already know everything. But should be some flexibility. You have to allow flexibility depending on maybe the warm-up needs to be shorter because there is a problem with the court. Maybe you can do it a longer warm-up because you have so many players. Maybe you get injured, some player gets injured in the warm-up and you have to modify some activity. For example, for us, if we have some players injured, we have to modify the possession game. Instead of 4 versus 4 and 2 neutral, sometimes it's only 1 neutral outside. Sometimes we play 4 versus 4 and 1 neutral player inside, depending on the number of goalkeepers that we have. So I think it's very important that the warm-up, the protocol is always the same to create some routines, but at the same time, I think it's very good if the warm-up has some flexibility that you can allow potential changes. Very important because the duration of the break, the duration of the gap between the end of the warm-up and the beginning of the match is very, very long. It's important to re-warm up before the match starts and also re-warm up after the break between the first half and the second half. So before the second half starts, we also do like a very quick warm up for those 5 players that they are going to start the match. To do this presentation, basically I used one of my papers. You can see here, I published these papers when I was working in basketball so many years ago. And it's, I think, a great review where you can also check other references. Here you have the hyperlink, the whole reference, and you have the hyperlink to the original paper. The paper is completely free to download, and there is a quick and I would say deep review about the warm-up, and then there is a proposal for basketball. It's different sport, but I really think it's good if you can check this. I hope you enjoy this presentation. Here you have all my contact details, my WhatsApp numbers, my email address, all my social media network, my YouTube channels, also my Instagram account and my Twitter account. So feel free to follow me, feel free to email me or WhatsApp me if you have any question. And one more time, I want to say thank you very much to Dr. Marcus Lapheimer for inviting me to do this presentation. I think this is the second presentation I do for him for his Global Sportscare YouTube channel. And for me, it's always a pleasure to collaborate and to share knowledge with my friend and to everybody. I really believe that sharing is caring and caring is loving. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.